I work at Chick-fil-A, and you see a bunch of really, really weird people. Like the other day, I was taking this guy's order, and all he wanted was a Cobb salad, which is like, normal, like, kind of behavior. Like, a lot of people get the Cobb salad, but he said just plain and dry, so just greens. And I told him, like, that's just lettuce, right? And he was like, yeah, I know. And I'm thinking in my head, like, that's a $9 bowl of lettuce. The most expensive bowl of lettuce you will ever get. You can literally buy a bag 3 times the size at any restaurant or any grocery store for a third the price. That's 3 times bigger than the amount of lettuce he got. Some people.
Anyways, you also see some really odd or, definitely not straight in the mind people at Chick-fil-A, work at Chick-fil-A. And the other day, probably a couple months ago, there was a guy that, he was obviously, I think he was homeless, but he was at Chick-fil-A for probably 2 hours before he did this terrible thing. So it was just really busy. I was working my shift, like running around and whatnot, and then one of the dining room people came running to me. He's like, Jacob, did you see what happened? I'm like, no, what happened? And he was like, that guy, he just pooped on the floor. I'm like, what? Yeah, so apparently the guy literally pulled down his pants and just did his business, just right there. And we had to call an ambulance on him because he wasn't straight in the mind, so we didn't want a big scene with cops. So we called the EMS and they dealt with him and took him to the hospital. But yeah.
But yeah, as a lot of y'all know, I work at Chick-fil-A, and I'm just telling y'all a bunch of funny stories. But yeah, there was this lady this one time where I was bagging, so I was bagging the food and bringing it out to the cars and whatnot. And it's not that hard of a task, but there was one lady who I forgot her fries, and I felt so bad. Like I repeated the order, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot the fries. I'll be right back. So I went to go grab the fries and whatnot. It's like it's my fault, not hers and whatnot. So I went and grabbed her the extra fries or whatever, and I threw a cookie in there because just to be nice, kind of like hospitality, like saying, hey, I'm sorry I screwed up, you're having for the inconvenience. I threw a cookie in there, and she told me, oh, thank you, you're super kind. And then she was like, what's your name, son? And I'm like, I'm Jacob. And I'm like, I don't know, like usually when they ask for your name, they either want to be like tell your managers that you're good or whatnot. But this lady was like, I'm gonna name my next child after you. It's like, what do you respond to that? Like literally.
I work at Chick-fil-A, as a lot of y'all know, and there was this other guy who I was taking his order. It was just like a normal order. It was pretty chill and whatnot. And at the end of the order, he's like, wait. He took the payment and he's like, wait. Just remember, we're all counting on you. And he drove off, and I'm like, what's that supposed to mean? And my mind's like, maybe like he's thinking that like I'm funny, but he seemed like genuinely serious. Like, I don't know, like that I'm like, am I in a simulation? I don't know, dog. You see some odd stuff. I mean, that's just like a funny kind of odd stuff. So anyways, God bless y'all. Peace.
But yeah, you see some odd stuff working at Chick-fil-A or fast food restaurants just in general. There was one day where Trump was in town, and he had a rally literally the building next to us, like literally right next door. So I was working, I was outside and whatnot, and it was kind of crazy because they literally blocked down the entire road, the entire highway that was next to us. And then they news reporters were nearby, and they literally had like the entire like Secret Service force and whatnot. It was crazy. But like our managers were just like, yeah, whatever, just go outside and take pictures and whatnot, and just like watch, because what else are we gonna do? We're literally blocked in, and like literally what else are you gonna do? Like take pictures? Truck driving by, you didn't really see him because of the 100 different black SUVs, unmarked SUVs. Working at Chick-fil-A, you hear a lot of odd questions. like really odd questions. Like one of my favorites I've heard is the other day there was a guy that drove through and he drove up and he's like, "What do y'all have here?" I'm just gonna let that marinate. What do you have here? We're famously known for chicken. You would have to go out of your way to not have something with chicken on it. Like you have to remove almost anything from like chicken from any of our items to not have chicken on it. Like some people, it's Chick-fil-A, chicken fillet. That's what it stands for. I mean, you have an exciting job nonetheless. If you work in the fast food industry, like exciting for good or for bad, but like you know what I mean. But yeah, I've had Trump drive by or Chick-fil-A. You can check out the linked video. We've also had we had the Lieutenant Governor of Texas drive through the other day. That was pretty cool. He's like the second highest ranking. That's like the second highest ranking office in Texas, like the Texas office. It's pretty cool because he actually drove through with like his armored van and like unmarked SUV, like tinted windows, and like his like bodyguard kind of guy was driving the car and he actually rolled down the window for Lieutenant I don't actually know what his name is. It's probably bad of me to not know, but yeah, there was also a lady who offered me drugs this one time, but yeah, stay tuned for that video. So yeah, subscribe if you want, subscribe if you want, likewise. God bless, peace. There was also this lady this one time that offered me drugs. Yes, you heard me right, let me explain. I work at Chick-fil-A and you see some very odd people. But the craziest experience that I tell a lot of people is this one time this lady that offered me drugs. It's pretty crazy, but I had a cold one day and we were allowed to work just as long as you don't have fever or vomiting or diarrhea or like whatnot. And but I lost my voice, and you know I kind of turned it into a joke, kind of like to make customers laugh or guests laugh. I kind of did like thing that was like, I don't know, like, "I'm sorry, y'all, my voice didn't want to come to work today," stuff like that. And this lady drove up and she's like, "You need to get that fixed," and she was pretty adamant about it. And later on in the order, she pulls out like a cap. She just dumps some pills. Like, I don't know what these are, and she's pretty forceful about it, like, take. Like, you need to take. I'm like, no, I'm okay. I appreciate the kind offer. I'm okay. It's weird people. Along with the lady who tried to give me drugs, yes, that really happened. I'll link the video. But yeah, I work at Chick-fil-A, and you see some odd stuff. Like, yeah, there's one guy I was working outside in the drive-thru, you know, casually minding my business or whatever. Like, I wasn't taking an order at this point, and a guy walked in. He was walking from his car to the store, and he had probably like a 2-foot-long like machete or knife strapped to his leg. And like I commented on it, I was like, "Hey, dude, that's like such a cool knife." And he just kind of looked at me. He was like. Yeah, but he didn't like rob us or anything, so that was good, I suppose. And I guess there was another time where I was taking an order, and then like the lady paused, like it was a lady, and I was just like kind of looking around halfway through the order, and then I see just a firearm just lying in the passenger seat. That gave me a mini heart attack. I mean, like, I live in Texas, like firearms, like everybody has firearms, and I'm gonna get a firearm eventually, but yeah, you see some weird stuff.
You know, I work at Chick-fil-A. And you see some very odd stuff. Like yesterday I was working, it was like a 6-hour-ish shift. I was closing, and there was this car that wasn't in my lane. One of the other people in first lane, she was taking the order, and I was talking with the lane 3 person, and I'm like, "You know what? It looks like this car has bullet holes in it." And you could tell they put like something to try to cover it up the best they could. But there was like some sort of putty or whatnot. I don't know. And she's like, "Fine, I'll go ask." And I was like, "Bet." And because she thought it wasn't bullet holes. So she went and asked, and sure enough, it was like this beater white Cadillac with tinted windows. And I was like, "Why did you ask?" And then she asked him why or how he got them. And he was just like, just some crap we did." It's like, yeah, it's definitely illegal. Definitely.